What's going on, gamers? Wanted to make a topic video on the first Descendant. A lot of people come into chat every day or comment on videos and pretty much say, hey Clyde, love the first Descendant gameplay, love the game, but with the future update coming on October 10th, what are some changes that could be added to the game, or can this be implemented? Do you think the devs are paying attention to this and this? And kind of wanted to go over some topics that I think might be good for the game or what the community's saying and kind of get other people's input. So gonna see how this style of video works and see if it, can be implemented into my uploads, because hey, sometimes voices need to be heard, right? We got a PC giveaway. It's free. It's worldwide. Yes, Clyde's just giving you free stuff. There's no scam here. I promise. I'm going to show you how to get to it. All you're going to have to do is go to my page and you'll see right here, it says, here's my plug for my Twitch and 4 more links. Click here. The reason why it's not in the description, because YouTube does not like that. We're going to pull the winner on October 1st. Ship it worldwide. You can live in Timbuktu. I'll ship it to you. I just wanted to celebrate September and give back to you. So congratulations to whoever wins and make sure you guys enter. Now on with the video. So first off, I'm going to just be blurting out some ideas that I have, everything all over the game. There's nothing in any particular order. It's just stuff that I think needs to be addressed, or hopefully the devs have spoke on it before. So if I mention something that the devs have already spoke on, I'm just pointing out more ideas or something that they need to talk about in the future. So everybody knows this place. First, let's talk about cooking. When we come here and we're waiting on cook times, is cook times good for the game? Me personally, I think they're a little lower than Warframe and they're in a good spot. Just a normal Glay, I think, had to be 18 hours. So, and we know that ultimate characters are 36. If you guys are wondering why they do stuff like this, it's just so that there's longevity in the game. You have to understand that this is a live service game and they can't just let you have everything at once, because then player numbers will go away. People just sign on and get what they want. But why are we only able to cook crystallization catalyst one at a time? If you sign on the game and you're looking to grind and you're looking to level up a weapon a few times or a character a few times, you might not have 3 or 4 crystallization catalysts ready to go. But if you were able to turn on the game and have 3 or 4 cooking and then get them all at once, you're pretty much setting yourself up for a nice game session to where you can level up your weapon twice in your character. I think this is a great idea. I don't know why they won't let us cook more than one. I kind of understand the energy activators because we really don't use them as much. There's not many people that are working on 2-3 different characters or 2-3 different weapons at once. But again, if that is you, you can just keep these cooking and get these every other day. If we can up the crystallization catalyst to 3, 4, 5 at a time, maybe energy activators 2 at a time. That way you can work on a weapon and a character. The list goes on. These things right here. Oh boy. We know that Clyde's got a gambling problem. Fine adjustment controls are fine. We can cook up to 500 now. You would have to have 50,000 materials. But the problem is, when we come over here and we want to get the perfect weapon and we're really stingy and we want to roll the very perfect roll that we want on all our weapons, let's just say we're doing this for our Enduring Legacy. If you lock 3, it's 20 a spin. I feel like this is way too expensive. Some people would think it's not, but I think it needs to be tuned down just a little bit, or the materials need to be cost less to craft, because I know I've sat here and spent just for one final perk on the weapon. When you get the 3 out of the 4, you're like, man, all I need is just one perk to drop. Everyone might have went through this with their piercing lights building for Haley, and it was such a pain. You go through these way too quick and it just feels like a chore trying to get more. Hopefully they can do something about this issue, because I have close to 700 hours in the game and this is literally my end game now. I don't have any problems with gold. I don't have any problems with hyper. I literally just can't roll my weapons because now I'm trying to update them and make all my weapons perfect. So when new stuff comes out, I don't have to worry about the old stuff, but I keep running into problems where I don't have the mats. The lab, ladies and gentlemen, this is big enough. Why can't we spawn a Colossus here? Why? Because we want to test out weapons, right? We want to be able to test out what this reactor is going to add when it has Colossus on it. We should be able to test it. Also, since we're speaking on the lab, there should be a testing facility in the lab where you're able to add mods to your weapons without having the space. So when you come in here, you can put on the mods, you can shoot and be like, oh, this setup does 68,000. Well, let me try different mods. Oh, this does 75,000. All right, I'm going to go with that. But you're punished if you don't have the catalyst. Since this is a testing facility, you should be able to put on mods and have like, oh man, I love this setup. I'm going to screenshot it and this is what I'm going to work towards because I like this the most. I'll shut up now. That's a really good idea. Let's talk about a legendary gun, right? I would say hands down Eternal Willpower is one of the best legendary weapons in the game, but there's really no point to run legendaries in the game as much. The only weapons that I see people running are Eternal Willpower, Hammer, and maybe a legendary hand cannon. With having this enhanced unique ability right here, I get it. This is only for uniques, but maybe a way to make your legendary weapons stronger. There could be a cool way to select our purple weapons and maybe bump their stats up a little bit, because making them relevant in the game. Because I just feel like right now, I mean, I haven't used Eternal Willpower for a long time since I got my machine gun. There's no reason to use purple weapons in the game right now, and I feel like there needs to be more incentive on having more diversity and using weapons in the game, or they need to add more of the purple weapons in the future and make them usable. Because as you see here, I'm not broke on these materials because I don't ever roll my weapons. Something there could be cool. Let's talk about the reactors. We all know that reactors are a pain, and I feel like just upgrading our reactors like this and just getting more skill power is definitely not enough. Now, the devs have addressed this. That's in the future updates. They talked about maybe being able to change your mounting. So if you look down here, this is my Gsxrclyde reactor, and let's say you didn't get this on Python. You got this on Xcava, or maybe not even a general rounds weapon. Maybe you get this on a Secret Garden or a Greg's, but those two bottom perks are what you're looking for. Being able to change the mount is still a good option, but I feel like there needs to be more. Now, you can't just totally kill the grind, because of if I was able to roll those two bottom perks, skill duration up and Colossus, it would kind of take away the reactor farm. But we all know that farming reactors in the game right now is really not that fun. You're literally just shutting your brain off. You're just constantly grinding for the god roll reactor, because some builds like Haley, Glay, Lepic, Lepics, God, when you're building an ultimate Lepic and you don't have that Colossus damage, it's a big difference in getting kills. It's the difference between you not being able to solo a boss or enraging them or killing them. And my idea was that they give us a rare material in the game, something that's more rare than like an energy activator. So I can pull this up real quick. Something that's more rare than this piece right here. So this is a 6% drop rate. You have a shape stabilizer, you can get it to 10, but let's just say that there's something in the game that's a 3% drop rate, and if you could juice it to 6%, you'd have a chance to get it. I feel like if you have a material like that and you're able to like catalyst or forma a Gsxrclyde reactor, let's just say you're a Gsxrclyde main and you really want this to be your main reactor, put in the time, maybe you could catalyst your reactor. Catalyst your reactor would mean you would need it to be the mounting, you would need it to be non-attribute dimension to match your build, but the bottom two perks, since you farmed for a very rare piece in the game, you're able to roll those perks. Now again, this would not be cheap. The materials to roll your reactor would kind of be like the weapon materials that I just talked about. Now you're probably like, well, Clyde, why make those expensive? Because grinding for that, it's giving you a different reactor grind. So instead of grinding for weapon parts to re-roll your weapons, which is expensive and they need to make that cheaper, when you're re-rolling a reactor, you're choosing a different grind. Instead of going to do a mission that takes a minute and just going in circles on a bunny and just filtering and realizing you're not getting the reactor you want, you're grinding for materials to roll that reactor. So I think this would take some grind out of the game. It would, so it's kind of counterreacting everything I'm saying, but you're not losing your mind. I just really think that giving players options to grind different stuff to get better reactors would definitely be a huge thing in the game, but them changing the mounting in a future update would definitely be a start. I mean, we're not even going to talk about this guy, right? He has no purpose in the game right now. I feel bad for the homie. I know that we're getting a new vendor in the future update. Hopefully the new vendor comes here on the 10th. This vendor will be put in the game and will be pretty much a vendor in the game that will be able to get rid of some of the materials we don't want for some goodies. But man, just having this vendor here and have no purpose, I feel like they could hook him up, because I mean, dude, he's on the way out the door. So Descendant, we feel you. Not really going to talk about much here on the module side for combining. We all know that everyone's going for shot focus. It's very annoying to get, but maybe they can up the percentage rates for some people so people don't have to go nuts. It's a rare mod, gotta make people grind, but they could buff it a little bit to kind of help people not go insane. Speaking of modules, a lot of people are starting to build into the support builds. They're trying to get the Enzos going, the Ajaxes, the Sharons, the Eugens, because pretty much with those combos, adding some DPS into them, they have the fastest kills on the hardest bosses in the game. And a lot of people like myself don't want to go open up all these precision encrypted vaults to get these Enzo mods. Me personally, I just farmed and got supply firearm enhancer for my build, and then I was like, you know what, I don't want to farm the other two. to. I really don't care. Now, I'm not just saying this because I don't have the mods. Obviously, I'm going to go get them, but I know that this question comes up a lot in chat. People are like, hey, I'm opening up all these ultra precisions. It's telling me where to go. It's telling me here which ones to open. But if I can't find the ultra precision, I'm not going to get the mod. It's kind of weird that these mods are one of the hardest to get in the game. So I just feel like they should up the rates a little bit, just because it's kind of crazy. Like, I've opened up a lot of precision vaults myself. Just standing there hoping that it drops is kind of a pain. We don't want to take away from the grind too much, but we also don't want to make people go absolutely insane. I hear a lot of feedback from the community and they're saying they're having trouble getting some mods. Just wanted to point that out. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but these daily task rewards to sign in and get boosters and stuff, you can always check this stuff if you press escape and you can click on daily tasks. This is amazing, by the way. I'm glad that they added this. One thing though about this mailbox, when I'm running around in these dungeons, the only stuff that goes to lost and found is the after mission rewards. So if you're full and then you beat the mission, those materials that you get or drops you get from that mission go to lost and found. Why can I be doing a dungeon, running through it, and if I leave something on the ground, it just goes to my lost and found? I really don't understand this. That's a big problem in farming, especially when you're reactor farming or you're farming mats, just because you know that you have to pick everything up off the ground or it's just going to go away. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, when you play, there's timers for stuff on the ground. When I was reactor farming for Glay for 3 days, there was stuff that was just disappearing off the ground because I left it there too long. That needs to be extended. That's a problem. Just like gold disappears. Just wanted to touch on that. I just feel like something could be done about that. Also, where's a button I can hit where it just scoops everything up that's around me? That'd be great. Like loot all, just hit one button on the keyboard or the controller and it just scoops everything up. Also, this has come up in a discussion that obviously if you don't keep your stash really clean, you don't have enough inventory to stack up a lot of stuff. Maybe if there was a way to unlock more space or more Descendant spots for free to play. I feel like there should be a way to increase your bag a little bigger, either grinding for a material. Just put a material to grind in the game, like a key, to unlock more spots. Now we're going to talk about the infiltration missions. We know that they changed them drastically. We know that they nerfed them. They made them a lot easier. First of all, the Haley parts. I know that they buffed it to where you get 5 parts from doing these, so you're going to get 5 parts from each run, so that's 20 parts. But when people are doing the other dungeons and they're trying to get the parts that they're still missing, 1 part drop, a chance to drop in certain dungeons, I feel like it can be buffed a little more, like 2 to 3, simply because Haley's hot right now. Everyone wants to play her, and making them wait so long, people just feel like they're missing the hype. They're missing the train. But the devs did address this. They understood that they shouldn't have time gated her. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword talking about this. But with these invasion dungeons, I feel like there should be a normal mode, which they're at now because they're nerfed. And if people still want the challenge and do the old one, you should be able to do the harder version and get rewarded for that. That's just how I feel. And I've heard it in the community. They're just like, oh my God, these are so easy now. They are fun. Some of them do trigger you, but it encourages you to make your builds for the boss room and be able to melt the boss and not die to ads. And I just feel like having separate ways to do stuff. Let's not forget that they're going to add matchmaking in these and the future update. So people that don't want to do the harder version, you don't have to. If you feel like the version of the game right now, these got nerfed, they're easy. Just remember, you're going to get matchmaking, so they're going to be even more easier. So I feel like it's a good way to implement that. Let's talk about the changes with the XP. As you know, right now, they posted, when you turn on the game, a poster that until September 25th, you get 50% more weapon efficiency in these dungeons. I've been farming Asylum. The reason why is because for some reason it drops the most weapons in this dungeon. So when I break down the weapons per run, average runs like 5 minutes or less, I'm getting over 1,000 parts per run. Also, I'm leveling up weapons. I'm also leveling up my Descendant, which is good. You're not doing the same old weapon XP and character XP. Now, I can say running these dungeons and leveling up your Descendants is a breath of fresh air. It's not just sitting in the bunny cave. We all know that a lot of us have spent a lot of time in this bunny cave, and also a lot of people did the Valby 500 when it was in the game. But the biggest problem right now is people are like, well, what's the best weapon XP? What's this XP? What can I do to get this XP? What's going to help me level up the most? Right now, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can level up your weapons in just 12 minutes. And this is a big problem. I'm not hating on this, but the fact that literally, if I want to make a video, or if I tell people, hey, you just got What's a new gun right now that's hot? Hey guys, if you just got your executor shotgun and you have the catalyst ready to go and you're ready to just catalyst this thing out in one day of you gaming, this is what you got to do. So you can do this solo, but obviously, you know, not having anyone to talk to, your brain's rotting, you're losing your mind. The person that joins you, they will join that mission, and they're going to be standing right here with like a Luna, a Viessa, anything that's AoE that's going to clap those cheeks right away. And all I have to do is come down here with a non-attribute character, and all I have to do is cause damage here. So when I cause damage and it spawns those ads, boom, they're going to be dead. And then I do this. And you're probably like, well, Clyde, if you don't like it, don't do it. I leveled up a weapon from 1 to 40 in 12 minutes. How can I pass that up? Like, it's so good. Also, leveling up your characters doing this is insane. So when stuff like this is in the game, why can't other stuff have the same output? Why can't other stuff in the game give us variety to do something different? Because having this exist, that something's in the game to level you up in 12 minutes, why would you choose to do anything else? I feel like there should just be XP diversity in the game. And I came up with, you guys see this reactor farm, right? This changes every Tuesday. XP can change every Tuesday up until the 25th. Once these dungeons don't get the 50% no more, maybe something can rotate in the game to where it's like, hey guys, go hang out on White Knight Gulch this week, and if you do missions or whatever, there's 75% weapon XP farm or something, like, and then it can rotate again. Like, I don't have the idea polished out. I just really don't know how to finish the statement, and I just feel like there needs to be more diversity, because I'm telling you right now, for the future content to get ready for the 10th, I'm gonna go sit at that non-attribute spot, and I'm going to level up every single character I need to. I'm going to level up every single weapon because it's there. I don't want to go do other stuff. If I'm strictly just getting my weapons leveled up and Descendants Catalyst ready to go, I'm going to go do the best spot. Am I going to lose brain cells? Probably. Or I'm going to go farm Asylum and get some weapon parts and do multiple things. But as soon as I see the weapon XP falling behind, I'm going to be like, all right, let me go hit the spot. Now, let's talk about these boss fights, right? We know they're going to keep nerfing them. That's okay. I get it. They want you to be caught up. So when the new boss comes out, you know, they nerf quite a few bosses. I think so far we're at a Dead Bride nerf, a Pyro nerf, a Frostwalker. That's it. And then when the new boss comes out, Gluttony's going to get hit, which is okay because they want player, but they can see stuff that we can't. They can see where players get stuck. So I get why they're doing that. Let's talk about targeted farming, right? So if you go fight Devourer right now, oh yeah, Hangman too. Hangman did get it too, so we're going to include Hangman in that list. So let's talk about targeted farming. So when you beat the Devourer and you're turning in this material and you're going for an Enduring Legacy piece, what if there's a way for you to target farm it where you can just select the piece itself? Now I can't, this was just an idea that I kind of just came up with as I'm sitting here, so I'm just going to wing it. If I could come up with an idea of this, I think that you use 2. So if you have 6 patterns, right? You have 6 of 076 amorphous materials. You can let the game take 2 from you, but you have a way higher chance to get that 10% drop rate. Some people might say that's too harsh. Maybe it is, but I'm just spitballing an idea there. Being able to target farm certain pieces that you're looking for might be a little better, you know. I mean, we can use the Ultimate Glaive piece right here as an example. That 6% drop rate. We know that Ultimate Glaive is a hard farm in the game right now, but having a way to increase, I know you're probably like, well, Clyde, shape stabilizers. Well, that's not good enough. There needs to be something else. How many times have you guys farmed for a 32% drop rate and you get the 10% 6 times in a row? That's what I'm talking about, you know? Just stuff like that. I just think it would be good. Also, why aren't we getting a little bit of XP in boss fights? I know that some of us cook boss fights in 4 seconds and 10 seconds, but I feel like you should get a little bit of XP for the weapons. Like, I reset my Haley, she's level 1, and I'm going to do all these boss fights and I'm not getting no XP, so she's sitting at level 1 right now. I get it, they don't want you to like farm XP from bosses, but like you should. I mean, you're participating in in-game activities. Also, here's another idea that I forgot to mention: having a 3rd difficulty. So this could be a 3rd difficulty. So let's say you go do Pyro, right? And the 3rd difficulty right now, looking at the screen, would be he is resistant to crit damage. Maybe his enrage meter, he enrages fast, something like that. Like kind of like how it is on the dungeons. You know how you run the invasion dungeons and it tells you not to use your kinetic weapons? It could be something stupid like that, but making a new modifier on these bosses. The reason why we want to do this is it could be a way to increase your drop rates. So if you use an amorphous material on that difficulty, you have better drop rates. Secondly, how about we get a better chance at getting pieces, right? If we go run, you know how many kills it took for me to get this? I'm telling you, over 100, maybe close to 200 kills on Pyro. Maybe if you're running the harder difficulty on these boss fights, there is a higher chance that double golds drop for your pieces. Because how many of you built your Lepics up and other characters? Components really matter now. Like when you're playing into endgame and you're trying to go for these end-all be-all builds or trying to go for these really big builds and get these boss kills under a minute, your components matter. Your reactors matter. Being able to do a boss difficulty where you can target farm double golds or double purple. Let's just say it's double purple, double golds. That's it. Or it's purple golds that drop. So no blues drop. And we don't even want to see like some weird stuff like this. Like let's just say you just beat the hard mode, the super hard mode Pyro, and you get this to drop and you're like, why do I want blue mods and some consumable drop rate? No. Like that stuff shouldn't be able to drop in that loophole. Kind of makes sense. Just an idea out there. I think it's cool, but also they need to do something about the sets. We all know that Annihilation and Slayer pretty much run the game right now. There is some build diversity with some other ones, but I would like to see the sets bring diversity with the new upcoming content. Hopefully they're working on something like that, and maybe give a little love to the purple sets, because you know Veteran's a good set. It gives you crit hit rate, it gives you firearm attack and weak point, but it's very niche. Quick thing about defense missions, I run this one a lot, the Sterile Land Block Kuiper. I feel like doing this to level 10, level 11 was good for XP. It was pretty simple. The rewards were good. I was getting a lot of gold. No complaints here on these, but again, just grinding defense missions over and over and over does get pretty boring. I was doing like a kind of an XP strat where I would do dungeons to level 31 and then I'd go do this to hit 40. I feel like these are in a good spot, but they could add a little bit more loot on the end. Like, hey, if you reach halfway through it, you get an extra reward, and if you beat it, you get like a really juicy drop to encourage people to grind more. Let's talk about the Descendant space again. Obviously, if you want more inventory space, the only way right now is to buy them. Kind of annoying. But two, what if someone has a normal bunny right now and they're looking to unlock the ultimate bunny? Well, the devs have spoken on this, that in the future they're trying to add an update to where all the catalysts that you invest on your normal bunny will transfer over to your ultimate. So that's really good. Really debut change there. Really hope that drops October 10th, because people are scared to grind out normal characters when an ultimate could be available. If you guys are wondering about ultimate characters, pretty much think of it like this. All the ultimates will launch on the base characters first, and then the newer characters will get ultimates as well. So if you're scared about grinding a Haley right now, it's safe, because it's gonna be a while. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I could just keep yapping and yapping and yapping. I was just sitting here on stream trying to figure out what to say, and I kind of just spitballed all that together. Hopefully some of these ideas caught your attention. Devs, maybe you can help the community out with some of these ideas. Not saying you need to use all of them, but keep looking at the feedback. I think you guys are doing a great job, but this is just stuff that I read in chat every single day, and I read in comment sections. Hopefully you guys like this kind of style of video of me just yapping and kind of spitballing ideas with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.